Hello everyone, this is part 2 of What If Naruto Left Konoha to Save His Life, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. The sun began to rise over the village. Hidden in the leaves at the western gate stood a Jonin and two Chunin as an Anbu appeared. Anything to report? Asked the Anbu. No sir, said the Jonin, we have a trade caravan is due to return from the rain village later this morning and 2 squads are due back in the evening. Really, then who is that? Ordered the Anbu as he pointed over the Jonin's shoulder. The Jonin turned around to see a blonde-haired man standing there. A face mask covered most of his face, but his blue eyes still looked out over the W headband on his forehead. Hello there, said Naruto as he crossed his arms as the Anbu pulled out his sword. Anime and manga. Who are you? Asked the Anbu. I am a massager from the Hidden Ice Village, said Naruto. I came to deliver a message from our cage. I see, said the Anbu. What is your name? Altair Namikaze, said Naruto as he remembered finding his birth record in Jiraiya's pile of scrolls. Naruto Altair Namikaze, thought Naruto. Altair was my grandpa's name. Namikaze, asked the Anbu as his sword lowered a bit. That is what I said Naruto. As in the Namikaze clan from this village, as in the 4th Hokage's clan. Asked the Anbu. Yes, he is my father, said Naruto. Impossible, the 4th wasn't married, said the Anbu. You don't have to be married to have a kid, said Naruto. Now I have a message to give, so can I enter the village? Alright, follow me, said the Anbu. Sakura stood in the marketplace buying some bread. Is there any way to get this at a lower price? Asked Sakura as she held a loaf of bread. Sorry miss, I am afraid not, said the baker. Now pay for it or put it back. We need this, but this is 3 times the price I was accepting. Thought Sakura. Anime and manga. Okay, said Sakura as she paid the owner. She placed the bread into the shopping bag. Slowly she turned around and her heart skipped a beat. There stood a tall blonde man with W on his headband being led by an Anbu. His blue eyes paused on her for a moment before he winked as he walked by. Naruto-kun. Good, Sakura-chan is still here. Good, I feared they had sent her to get me. Thought Naruto as they passed through another gate and entered another, and what he saw made him sick. In the outer walled section of the city was a ghetto of people crammed into buildings that looked they could fall down at any moment. The middle section looked like it did when he lived in the village, but it was the center section that made his skin crawl. Everything was over the top opulent and the market was filled with food. In the outer section there was hardly any food in the market. How can someone live so close to people in need and not do anything? Asked Naruto to himself as they walked up the steps toward the Hokage's building and soon found himself standing in front of the doors to the Hokage's office. Anime and manga. My god, Naruto is back, thought Sakura as she went back to shopping. Yes, and did you see his arms? Said Ina Sakura as Sakura formed a mental picture of Naruto with those sped arms. Yes, I did, thought Sakura with a smile as slight bush formed across her face. Imagine what his chest looked like. Added Ina Sakura as Sakura's blush deepened even more than she believed possible. Hey forehead, said a new voice as Sakura spun around. Oh hey piggy, said Sakura as she looked at Ino. What do you want? Well, forehead, I came to visit you, and what do I find but you looking out into space dreamily with a deep blush on your face, said Ino as she looked at her friend. So, asked Sakura, so you must have found yourself a boyfriend, said Ino as Sasuke glared at her. I'll take that as a yes. So, what if I saw a hot man? Aren't you still after that snake, Sasuke? Said Sakura as Ino smiled before shaking her head. No, I am now engaged to Sasuke-kun, said Ino with a huge smile as Sakura looked at her. But you have never been on a date with that cold sob, said Sakura. Sakura, you know that dates are not necessary for true love, said Ino as she looked out dreamily as Sakura shook her head. More than likely it was because you're the only girl Sasuke's age who is a ninja, unmarried and from a council-level clan, said Sakura. That is why Danzo picked you to be Sasuke's wife. So, I am going to be the wife of the 7th Hokage, said Ino as she placed her hand on hips. So Danzo picked an even eviler snake to take his place, said Sakura. I just don't understand you, Sakura. He is the most powerful and hot man in this village. I don't see why you don't like him, said Ino. He made Naruto-kun go away and ked Lady Tsunade, said Sakura. How can you stand being near him? Sakura, Naruto had no control over the demon in him and was a threat to everyone in the village. Also Tsunade would still be alive if she had gone along with the council's orders, said Ino. I thought you would be happy for me, that I have found true love. No, I feel so sorry for you, Ino, said Sakura. You think you have found true love, but you are going to get nothing but pain from Sasuke. He is going to use you as a baby factory to rebuild his clan, which is all you or any woman is to him, a tool. Without saying another word, Sakura turned and left a stunned Ino standing in the street. Meanwhile, Naruto stood in front of the doors to the Hokage's office. He snapped his head toward a new chakra source. Standing there was a woman about his age. Her long hair reached the mid of her back. She had on a purple jacket with white long sleeves and wore a darker purple pair of pants, but it was her gray eyes that told Naruto all he needed to know. Hinata. Hinata had her Byakugan on and scanning the stranger standing in front of the door. She could see almost everyone the man was carrying. He had a lot of scrolls in a pouch on his right leg and kunai and other weapons in a holster on his other leg. Along with that, he had a katana on his back. However, it was the mask over part of his face that caught her attraction. She couldn't see through it no matter how hard she tried. Slowly she walked up to the man. Before you enter the Lord Hokage's office, you must surrender your katana and any other weapons you are carrying, said Hinata as the man looked down at her. I assume that if I do that I will be protected by the messenger laws passed by all the cages, said Naruto. Yes, no harm can come to you as long as you don't spy or steal anything from this village, said Hinata as she watched the man pull out 2 scrolls from one of the pouches. He unrolled one before placing his sword and all his other weapons on it. He did a ram sign before they all disappeared inside the scroll. He rolled it up before handing it to Hinata, while still holding the other scroll in his hand. This one is a message from my leader, said Naruto as Hinata nodded her head before opening the door, letting the strange ninja enter the Hokage's office. The moment Naruto entered the room, he did a quick glance, noting where everyone was at and what weapon they had. 2 Anbu stood guard at both exits to the room. Danzo sat behind the desk with Sasuke standing to his right. Naruto walked in and stopped in the center of the room looking. Who are you? Asked Sasuke as Naruto turned his gaze to him. I came to speak to the Hokage, not his assistant, said Naruto as Sasuke tried to give him the death glare. Sasuke Uchiha is no one assistant. I am going to be the 7th Hokage, said Sasuke as Naruto's eyes narrowed. Great, when he find out who I am he will declare war on my village just to kill me, thought Naruto. I am sorry for the disrespect, future Hokage, but my message is for the current Hokage, said Naruto as he turned toward Danzo. You still haven't answered all questions, said Danzo. I think you Anbu have told you who I am, when I reported in at your western gate, said Naruto as Danzo nodded his head. This is true, but still enlighten us, said Danzo. Fine. I am Altair Namikaze, head of Anbu for the village hidden in the ice, said Naruto. See, that is where we have a problem. The 4th Hokage never had any kids, so he was the last of the Namikaze clan, said Danzo. Does this village keep a DNA record of all their chunin? Asked Naruto, already knowing the answer. Yes, we do, said Danzo. Then I will offer a blood sample, then all you do is run it against my father's, said Naruto. That is true, or we could try a much simpler way, said Danzo as he snapped his fingers as another Anbu appeared in the room, this time with a scroll in his hand. This scroll was sealed by the 4th with a bloodline seal. Do you know what that means? That only he and his direct descendants will be able to open it, said Naruto as he held out his hand. Danzo nodded as the Anbu handed the scroll to Naruto. The moment it touched Naruto, the seal opened. See, I am the son of Minato Namikaze. So it would seem, but we will still require a blood sample, said Danzo as Naruto nodded, knowing that DNA isn't taken until a ninja reaches Chunin, meaning he wasn't in the system. I am fine by that, asked Naruto. All right, said Danzo before yelling, Hinata, bring us a needle. A minute later Hinata walked in. Yes, sir, she said. Take some blood from our guest and have it run against the 4th Hokages, ordered Danzo as Hinata took some blood before leaving. Now can I give you my message? Asked Naruto as Danzo nodded as Naruto walked up and handed the scroll to Danzo. Naruto stood still as Danzo slowly read the scroll. So the nations of Void, Mountain and Ice are allied? Asked Danzo as Naruto nodded his head. Yes, Lord Hokage, also we are in talks to add Demon and Warrior into our alliance. Our leaders only want peace with our ninja brethren from across the ocean, said Naruto, trying to ignore the horrible feeling that came from calling Danzo Lord Hokage. I see, said Danzo as he leaned back in his chair. I have a question for you, Altair Namikaze. What is it? Asked Danzo. If you are the son of the fourth, then why are you not a leaf ninja? Asked Danzo. I was told that the third Hokage wanted me to grow up safe from my father's enemies, so he gave me to my mother's family, who moved to the ice village. There I grew and became a ninja of the ice, said Naruto, using the story he had come up with. I see, so if your story is true, what do you plan to do with your family's holding in my village? Asked Danzo. I plan to take my family's scrolls and see that the Leaf Village trading company that they formed is running good and in a way my father would have wanted. Then I will return home, said Naruto. I have no wishes to interfere with your village. Good, but we have to talk about the Namikaze's clan council seat. At the moment it is void. If you're a Namikaze, you will have to pick someone to sit there if you can't, said Danzo. Thank you, I will pick someone from my clan's company. If they go another to run my family's company, they will be good another to vote in my stead at the council, said Naruto as Hinata entered the room, a piece of paper in her hands. Lord Hokage, I have the results of the test, said Hinata as she handed the paper to Danzo. He is the son of the fourth Hokage. Naruto now stood in his clan's family home. It wasn't as big as the other clan compounds, but it still had at least a dozen houses. Even though no one had set foot in them in over 22 years, everything was still clean. Cleaning seals, I wish I knew these when I was a kid, thought Naruto as he sealed yet another set of books from his clan records. Suddenly a knock came from the front door. Naruto stood up, leaving the dozen clones he had doing the sealing keep on working. Naruto walked toward the front door only to see Hiyashi Hyuga and a dozen other elder Hyugas standing there dressed in fancy formal robes. Naruto opened the door. Altair Namikaze? Asked Hiyashi. Yes, said Naruto. I am Hiyashi Hyuga, leader of the Hyuga clan and the man your father left in charge of the Leaf Village Trading Company, said Hiyashi as Naruto let him in. Sorry, but I don't have any food or drink to give you, said Naruto. Don't worry Namikaze, we understand, said Hiyashi. We came to talk to you about trading company and the vote on the council. I see, and you want them both, am I right? Asked Naruto. Why yes, said Hiyashi as another Naruto walked by carrying a box. Don't worry about them, they are gathering things to bring back home, said Naruto. And as for the trading and council seat, I haven't decided if I want one family controlling 2 seats on the council. That just wouldn't be fair. Then who do you have in mind? All the clans have a seat, said Hiyashi. Not all the clans, I know there are more than 7 clans in the Leaf Village, said Naruto as Hiyashi's eyes narrowed. You can't pick someone of the lower clans, stated Hiyashi as Naruto glared at him. I can pick whoever I want, and you better watch your mouth because I can remove you just as easily, said Naruto as the Hyugas flinched. Before anyone could speak, another Naruto walked up and whispered in the real Naruto's ear. Good. What is Mr. Namikaze? Asked an elder. I have had some clones going over some personal records of the company. I think I found the perfect person for my clan's council seat, said Naruto. Now would you all please leave? Across town at the Haruno household, Sakura sat in their small backyard. It was her first day off in 6 months. She sat on a dining room chair she had brought outside as she watched her 6-year-old brother Reiji, while Sakura could pass as a copy of her mother. Reiji seemed to match her father. There may be 16 years between the two Harunos, but that didn't the fact that she would do anything to keep him safe. She was already training him in different ninja weapons and Justu because in 2 more years he would be out in the field doing C-ranked missions for Danzo. Another one of Danzo's laws: no ninja school for the lower kids. If they live, only the children of the main clans get to go to school and have jonin instructors. Everyone else is on their own, thought Sakura sadly as she remembered the numbers. 1 in 10 of Danzo's ninja kids don't live past their first mission, and only 1 in 3 make it over a year without getting killed or badly wounded. Suddenly a knock came from the door. I'll get it, said Kane Haruno from inside as Sakura kept sitting there until she heard a new voice. Mr. Haruno, said the voice as Sakura's heart skipped a beat. Her head spun around to look through the sliding glass door that led into the kitchen. From there she could see a man a few inches taller than her dad standing in the doorway. His blonde hair and blue eyes were separated by headband with AW on it. Naruto-kun. Yes, said Mr. Haruno, who are you? I am Altair Namikaze, said Naruto as Sakura stood up and entered the kitchen. There is no Namikaze clan anymore, stated Kane. The fourth Hokage was the last. No, he wasn't, said Naruto. If you don't believe me, then I can't offer you a job. That sparked Kane's interest. A job? Asked Kane as Naruto nodded his head. What type of job? Running the Leaf Village Trading Company, said Naruto as Kane's and Sakura's eyes widened. Meanwhile, in a huge building inside the center wall, on the top floor of the building, Hiyashi stormed through the double doors. Good day, Mr. Hyuga, said his pink-hair secretary Rin Haruno. Bring me tea, ordered Hiyashi as he marched into his office with two elder Hyugas at his side. Rin quickly made tea for all three Hyugas before walking into the room with the tray of tea. So the Namikaze is firing us? Asked an elder as he picked up cup of tea from the tray Rin was holding. Maybe, but he already said that he is going to give his council vote to someone other than one of the 7 clans, said Hiyashi as Rin gave him another cup of tea. He wouldn't give a vote to one of the lower clans, would he? Said the second elder as he took the final coup of tea from the tray. Yes, I also have the feeling that he will remove us from control of the company, said Hiyashi as he shipped some tea. Rin left the room only to return holding the tea kettle in her hand. How we control the majority share of the company? Asked the first elder as Hiyashi shook his head. No, we own 39% of the shares. The Namikaze clan has 55%, said Hiyashi. Since they haven't voted in the past 23 years, we have control of the company, but now that Altair Namikaze is back, he can decide who is running this company. This is indeed bad news, said the elder as he held out his cup. Rin walked up and poured him another cup. When she finished, another Hyuga walked in, this one with a ninja headband on. Sir, we have spotted the Namikaze at a house in the middle section, said the Hyuga ninja. So he is going to offer the spot to a lower clan, said Hiyashi. Who? Her husband, Kane Haruno, said the ninja as he pointed at Rin. Rin's eyes shot wide opened. Meanwhile, Naruto was sitting across from Kane Haruno at the Haruno dining room table. Why would you want me? Asked Kane as Naruto raised his hands and formed a hand sign. Meanwhile, the three Hyugas outside suddenly went blind for a moment. When they looked back, their Byakugan saw nothing but fuzz. What just happened? Asked one of the Hyuga ninjas. Somehow he is blocking our Byakugan, said the leader of the Hyuga squad. Great, now we can talk freely, said Naruto as he pulled down his mask. You're the demon child, said Kane as Naruto grinned. I was, but now I head of the Anbu of the Ice Village, and I am the last of the Namikaze, and I want you to take over my clan's council seat and company, said Naruto. So this is your plan, Naruto? Asked Sakura as her dad turned to look at her. You knew about this? Asked Kane as he glared at his daughter. Well, I ran into Naruto last mission and he said he would find a way to protect you guys, and after that is done, I plan on defecting to the Ice Village, said Sakura as her father looked at her for a bit before looking at the table. Sakura, I love you, and if you want to go with Naruto, then I won't stop you, but think about this first, said Kane. Dad, I would have defected years ago, but I needed to protect my family. If Naruto can do that, then it is all I need to leave, said Sakura as her father nodded. I see, then I hope you have a great life, said Kane before looking back at Naruto. Again, why me? I don't want one of the 7 clan having 2 votes on the council, and the Hyugas have been hogging all the money that the company was supposed to use to help the poor. Instead, they have been using it to line their wallet, said Naruto. Also, you were the highest manger who wasn't part of any of the major clans, and you know how to lie from paycheck to paycheck. Also, you're Sakura-chan's dad. I see, but won't they just try to remove me once you make me the leader? Asked Kane. No, because only you and me will be able to access the money, and the trading company is the source of over a quarter of the entire village's income, and if you are hurt, I will come back and remove all the money from the village, CSP-ling the village economy, said Naruto as the front door opened. Naruto quickly pulled his mask before a pink-haired woman walked in. The woman took a look at Naruto. Let me guess, Naruto, said Rin as Naruto pulled down his mask. I can see where Sakura gets at least some of her brains, said Naruto. Rin, he says he is a Namikaze, said Kane as Rin nodded her head. I always thought he looked like Minato when he was younger, but I just passed it off as Conscience, said Rin. He also wants to make me head of the Leaf Village Trading Company, said Kane as his wife nodded. That is what the Hyuga ninjas spying following him reported back saying, said Rin before looking at Naruto. That was before you blocked their Byakugan. Glad to hear that worked, said Naruto before looking back at Kane. Now if you want the job you have to know that I can remove you if you start to become a Hyuga and you won't have complete access to all the money. I understand, said Kane. Also I want you to give money to help the poor, said Naruto. I am already giving a lot to the poor. No problem, but I also want to lower the prices for the poor, said Kane as Naruto smiled. Good. Now there is only one other small thing. My clan's property in the center ring. If you two can keep an eye on it every once in a while, said Naruto. Also Sakura isn't the only leaf ninja going to the ice. Shikamaru and Temari are heading there as well. I plan to meet them in the Allied Moon Village in a week. I had a feeling they liked each other, said Sakura. They are married, and just to give Danzo a headache, I have been spotted in the northern borderland of Wind and Earth, said Naruto. Smart move, said Sakura before looking back at her parents. When can my dad his new job? Tomorrow I can have him sitting behind a new desk, said Naruto. Good, then tomorrow night we are leaving, said Sakura as her parents nodded. Good, you will be happy, that is all I care about, said Rin before looking out the glass door to see her youngest kid swinging on his swing set. Naruto, Sakura, I want you to take Reiji with you. Kane's head snapped toward his wife. Honey, do you know what you're saying? Asked Kane. When Sakura goes to the ice village we may never see her again. Are you sure you want to never see our son again? It is better to never see him again, and knowing that he is safe then see him as they put him into the ground after his first mission, said Rin with tears in her eyes. Don't worry Mrs. Haruno, I promise both of you will protect them both with my life, said Naruto. I always keep my promises. Thank you Naruto, said Rin. Now all I have to do is say goodbye to them. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.